the stock market, meaning companies, new highs.
I'm not fucking leaving. The show goes on. Nuts. They're nuts. They know nothing.
An online network called Internet.
Well, it's very hip to be on the internet right now.
Welcome, my degenerates. The rest of your life starts right now on Market Mania. No bullshit approach to all financial markets, from Bitcoin to crypto, political betting, and of course, the largest casino in the world, the U.S. stock market. Today on Market Mania, we bring you the hard-hitting topics of the first day of February, such as Tesla earnings. Everybody on TikTok, investors, is going to be worried about that. They got robots too now. Saifu cashes out. BB sells to the SPAC. Better buys an ape. Bieber buys an ape. Thank you. And the pick of the day. Matt Glantz, Tesla, earnings, robots.
So, it's a kind of recap. Tesla came out late last week with earnings. They destroyed their earnings. They're just a money-making machine, printing billions. I mean, they're just putting like a few $1 billion a quarter now. Remember, like 2 years ago, they were just trying to raise $500 million bonds and just trying to sell some stock. Whereas, like now, they just turned on the machine. It's turned on, and now they're just printing money left and right. But Elon says this is nothing. Cars are nothing. He wants to go towards humanoid robots in the house. That's the future. He says the TAM, the total addressable market for humanoid robots in the future, is bigger than the entire stock market today. So anyway, so the stock, people got nervous about that kind of stuff. And this was last week when the market was still getting killed. Stock was around $9.25 before earnings, $925 a share. Earnings came out. They blew away earnings. The next morning, it opened a little bit up. And then that day, it got hammered down $100. Next day, it was down another $50. We were under $800 a share on Thursday. And now, 4 days, trading days later, we're back right where we were for earnings. What are we at? $930 a share currently. And everything's hunky-dory. The market's coming back. And now we're looking forward to Tesla robots. What do you guys think about that?
Siri, what is the total value of the stock market? 53 trillion. Brett, I mean, doesn't that just sound like a hype man? Like, this guy's got the sickest verses in the world.
I mean, it is a hype man. Well, the thing about Tesla, right? They make great products and they're amazing marketers. So it's a tough fade. I'm not going to fade their robots. Even people could say like it's overvalued or whatever, but you do have like A+ cars and A+ marketing. So other than, everything else almost doesn't matter. What's really weird, by the way, about Tesla, Biden is out there shilling for General Motors and Ford's EV stuff. He won't say Tesla. He won't invite Elon to the EV leaders summit. It's just that's they're insane. So far ahead of the other companies. You have to include them. It's crazy.
Brett is very correct here.
Really happen?
Yeah, Brett is very correct. So Biden, since before he even got elected, has been in bed with GM, Ford, basically the legacy automakers. He's in with the labor unions, and Tesla does not have unions. They don't hire union workers. So it's very anti-Biden, anti-establishment. And Biden will not give any credit to the EV sector as far as Tesla creating it, Tesla pushing it forward. He gives it all to GM and Ford, which is crazy because anybody that knows anything about the EVs, it's all Tesla. Tesla's forcing their hand.
Yeah, they just look bad if you know what you're like. These people are just lying to us. It's both sides, by the way, but whatever.
PE ratio of Tesla based on those massive earnings is still over 300. So I mean, you're still like in ridiculous growth stock valuation.
50% growth a year, though, Mike. On 50% right now, still
50% growth. A+ product, A+ marketing. Fade this at your own peril. I get not hopping on. Like I don't have any Tesla. But I wouldn't short it.
Don't go back to Tesla for another 45 seconds, Tony. I don't care if that's not the style of the show. I've had the stock. I've put a bag of the stock in, saying, okay, it's in the long-term bag. I'm never touching it. And then it got to a valuation. This happened twice. And it got to a valuation where I'm like, there's no way I can't justify owning the company at this valuation. I have to sell it. I mean, I'm up big on it. I have to get rid of it. And I have a feeling that Elon might pull it off. he might make robots that are worth more than $53 trillion. It just thinks like that's a fucking shoot for the stars, long ball. Tom Brady's got to go 22 seasons kind of level of odds, but I think he might do it. So
$1 trillion market cap.
It sounds like too much. It sounds insane. It sounds batshit crazy to me, Matt. But like,
I'd go long before I went short if I had to pick. I personally just stay away, but I'd be long before short.
I mean, people think I'm crazy, but it's like betting on Thomas Edison or who's some great inventors of the past. You're just betting on Elon Musk. What
kind of equity do you need what chance that he creates a robot worker force worth over $50 trillion? Like, what percentage chance do you need to buy Tesla at $1 billion valuation or at $1 trillion valuation?
I don't know, but here's the question I always ask myself in these spots. What's the chance the stock doesn't double in the next 5 years? Probably not much.
I can't wait. I mean, you know that Elon's enough of a freak that he's going to have some sex robots. He's not going to shy away. He's going to he's going to do the warehouse. Okay, yeah, warehouse.
Model 69, you're correct. Yes.
Load truck. That's going to be first, but yeah, eventually Model 69. Well said, Glenn. Okay, moving on. This is yet another fantastically brilliant crypto scam that some of you guys don't know, some of you know. You look at early Bitcoin talk. I was busting the butterfly labs of this world almost a decade ago. And, I was doing, they were interviewing me on NPR about the pirate at 40, who was an early Ponzi scammer. But just since those times, the last 10 years, I mean, fuck, man. I mean, those are multi-million-dollar scams, but now there's a multi-million-dollar scam. Twice a week we'll have some multi-million-dollar LOL. In this case, I think Brett might even know more about it. This was Wonderland. This was time.
What's the coin?
Time. And this was, I tried really hard to understand what time was. I never touched this one, but I tried really hard. I read the paper. I was trying to figure out what exactly you're buying, what you're leveraging, what you're lending, what you're borrowing. I tried to figure it out. And I ADD'd out. 10 minutes of it, I couldn't do it. I never got to the end of the rabbit hole. I ADD'd out. I'll admit it. Hand raised. I went to go play Fortnite and smoke a joint. Hand to God. Hand to God. That's what happened. Instead of learning exactly how Wonderland and time worked. But I did know that Empire Maker 2 was always tweeting about how he's LOL. He's up so much on time. It sounds like a shenanigans Ponzi du jour type of DeFi, whatever the fuck,
Yes.
Shenanigans proposition of the day in the crypto world. I didn't research it. I didn't know what happened, but it looks like this guy that potentially might have been the CFO of that shenanigans Canadian
Not potentially.
exchange.
He was the co-founder of Quadriga, the Canadian exchange. He served time before that. Quadriga, which folded with 200 million missing of customer funds. Before that, he served time for some other financial crimes. Like, he's basically been scamming since 2003 consistently. And then so now he got put in charge of the treasury of this DeFi. It's funny, everyone's like, oh, it's DeFi, but it's still this guy's just holding the keys, right? It's not like this guy could have walked away with 600 million. And he was the anonymous, like he built up his anonymous rep, and then like it came out that he was this like infamous scammer, and the price tanked. But like with Wonderland or any of these Ohm forks and like a lot of the DeFi stuff, it's the airplane game. If you ever played that, you put your money in, plane starts going up, you can cash out for more and more the higher it goes. But if you wait too long, it crashes and you get nothing. So all these participants, for the most part, other than like maybe some very unsophisticated people, everyone knows this is a Ponzi. Everyone knows that they're just kind of, holding on as long as they can to then cash out. And apparently the money was just with this guy who could have done whatever he wanted with it. And then he got doxxed. And, it doesn't look great over there. I never touch these things personally. Once they start running is when I hear of them. Like, I would love to get in early. I'll admit that. I'm not like above trading this kind of thing. By the time it comes across my timeline, because I'm not super deep into the DeFi streets, I feel like, okay, I missed it, right? These guys are all talking about it.
I don't trade this shit either. Like, I don't play the greater fool game, really. I mean, like, I don't know. I guess I try not to, but sometimes a gamble's so attractive that you want to get money on it. I mean, I would say I generally shy away from these things. I try to create value. I try to build value. I try to build something that's cool. I try to like invest in things that I think are building things that are very useful. I know, Matt, neither of the two of you are on board with this boomer style of investment. Matt wants something that's in motion today.
Yeah.
And then Brett,
Short term.
I do it in NFTs, where I understand the NFT market
has a,
much better than this. So I
picture
don't.
of a little piggy cartoon or something, which is pretty far away from that.
Yeah, I'll play hot potato with NFTs, but it's the same thing. Like these things fly and then crash. Every day there's a couple different projects pumping. So
I'll tell you what. I'll give you guys an example of what I'm doing today. That's way different than what Mike Gun's talking about. What is he referring to? Tony, can you pull up a chart of Google right now? GOOG. So the Googs right now is $27.40, $27 or $40 a share. Tonight is earnings. I sold just right before the show. I sold 25 of the 2,600, 2,550 put spreads that expire Friday for $8.80. Let's call it $9. Collecting 20,000 if the stock doesn't go below 2,600 by Friday with the earnings tonight. So that's like a 140-point drop from here. And my max loss is 40, so it's like about 85,000. So I'm risking 85,000 to win 20,000. So I'm getting like 4.5. I'm laying 4.5 to 1. The fact that Google doesn't crap out tonight in earnings, it doesn't go under 2,600. What do you guys thoughts on that?
Minus 500 is the bet, and he's betting big.
Are you kind of the house here? Are you selling these to other people?
Yeah, so I'm selling basically I'm selling insurance. I'm selling
Yeah.
insurance to the downside to people that are buying puts in Google. They either own the stock or they want to bet on the downside. And basically I'm laying 4.5 to 1 that the stock doesn't go below 2,600. Basically, if it goes to 25.92, I break even on Friday. But under that, I start losing. The max loss is 80 some thousand, and the max gain is 20,000. That's what I did. So it's a lot different than what the boomer style investing that Mycon's talking about. But that's what we got tonight. So you could sweat it. So we'll know by tomorrow, pretty much where the stock is, whether I made 20 or lost 80.
I mean, I'm aggressive. I'm trying to pick up 100K in like Flexport shares pre-IPO right now. Like I'm not like just laying up. It's not all SPY and VT. I mean, just over here. I'm just Got some options plays on some of these cruise ships. Got some like.
If you got 100 dimes
options
to fire, I got some NFTs that I can interest you in.
Speaking of things with a cute little letter combination like NFT, SPAC, the SPACs are back.
SPACs.
I mean, they're SPACing everywhere. Matt Glantz loves it. Tony's here. The producer, ladies and gentlemen.
Where's Chamath when you need him?
All together.
Chamath got in some trouble last week. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Right.
Oh, we saw that.
That was pretty interesting. I guess we could have covered that
below
too.
my line.
Yeah, but this came across my eyes because Blackberry was one of those meme stocks that Wall Street Bets kept pumping, and I thought it was kind of indicative of the market that we looked at as a whole last year. I'm wondering if that's ever coming back, and I thought Blackberry is a good place to analyze that sort of mania. And they were in the news because they're selling off the IP for their phones and basically the hardware. And I don't know about you guys, but I really miss those QWERTY keyboards. I have not been able to type fast ever since we went to touchscreen. So there may still be a market out there, but it doesn't seem like they're competing well with the Apples and the Androids of the world. So they've sold off just the hardware part, and they're going to focus on being more of a security company, a software company. It doesn't look like you could trade the SPAC yet publicly, and I didn't see why they want this hardware. There was no real information on what their angle was. But the main story here, I think, is Wall Street Bets going to see another Blackberry run? Because as I was looking up and down that thread, some guys were like, oh man, we bought it 25, about at 15, and I'm just feeling so bad for them. So what do you guys think? Is there any more gas left in these meme stocks for the Wall Street Bets crowd?
So from my perspective, I don't pay attention to this at all, so take it with a grain of salt. Stock's $8 now. You just talked about all these $15 buyers, $25 buyers. What I don't like in a situation like this is you have all these people that are underwater basically hoping for some sort of pump to exit to some extent, right? And obviously if it rampages, you can clear all those guys out. But it feels like there's going to be a lot of sell pressure on the way up from people that are just like happy to get out a little bit higher than here. So for me, I would stay away, especially I don't even understand what they're really doing. BlackBerry hasn't been very relevant in a long time. Is their software going to be that great that's really going to impact businesses? I don't know. It's just stay away from me.
Tony, there's only two reasons. One reason why the stock goes up and one reason why the stock goes down for any stock. If there's more demand than supply, the stock's going to go up. If there's more supply than demand, the stock's going to go down. And there's just no demand for these meme stocks anymore. It's played out. They're not going to get a whole group of new teenagers. It's not like the 18 to 24-year-olds are now going to wait till the 16, 18-year-olds get into the market and they're going to start buying meme stocks. It's over. It's just a matter of there's always going to be more supply now for the foreseeable future of all these meme stocks than there is demand. It all comes down to fundamentals now. The only way that the institutions are going to buy is if the fundamentals get good, and it's not even close yet.
This started basically at the end of 2020. And so basically when Market Mania sort of began is when we saw the creation of this new category of stock, of meme stock, of
AMC. We were on it beforehand.
Yeah.
Glance had an
$4?
Glance had the AMC call, which is
you were way
that's
over
one of the
there.
craziest calls I've ever seen anywhere, just because it was not like, hey, buy it for a different reason than it pumps for some random reason. It was buy it for exactly this reason, where the idiot internet, no offense, Wall Street Bets, no offense, it's true, I'm right, by the way, it's not like I'm just making fun to take I'm punching down, as Chappelle would say. But they knew Glance predicted that the frenzy would turn its eyes on AMC. After watching GameStop, you were just, it's crazy. It's just that's one of the craziest calls I've ever seen. It's amazing. That's why
super sharp.
That's why
I tend to agree.
Fun times.
Probably not a lot of gas left in these meme stocks. I don't see any more stimmies coming, at least not for a while. I don't see any more hype.
I think there's a stimmy coming.
Oh.
The Democrats are doing too poorly. They're gonna pull out all the stock.
Even if it does,
it's not going to help these stocks. No.
This was driven.
I agree. I agree with that, but I still think there's going to be a stimmy coming.
This was almost as much TikTok, or maybe more, than Wall Street Bets, where there was these idiot drug addicts that you see on there just making these crazy calls of like AMC can get to 2,000. Here's why, and it's just like just not going to make it central. And it was just tons of not going to make it at once, piling it in. And I don't know. They're all there's going to be a lot of blood there.
Yep.
There's going to be a lot of blood. A lot. Like that's going to just those savings could have actually been multiplying for them by this point. But that's all right. That's okay. You're not going to degen's going to degen. Speaking of which, Brett Ritchie, I remember when you also made one of the best calls I've ever heard of the NFT space when you said to me before the Bored Ape mint, I believe. Maybe right after.
It was the day after.
I think you said, I love the art. This is going to be huge. The team is building something bigger than it seems. And I said to you straight away, I said, you're fucking crazy. There's no way I'm buying a picture of a monkey for what was then like, I think it was like 0.6 ETH or something. It was like, it was $1,000.
0.4 maybe. I don't know if it hit 0.6 that quickly. But
I'm like
$1,000.
I'm not going to if, like my wife, who's been with me for 15 years that I love so dearly, whenever something like this on my screen, she saw the Cribbos the other day and she's just looking at me, shaking her head. She's like, we're going to be poor again. We're going to bust again, aren't we? We're just going to look at what you're doing. You have a screen full of fucking cartoons. She's like, how much were the cartoons? You know what I'm saying? Like
0.04, Martha, 0.04 4K supply, and they're cute.
She's not.
That was a good buy, even if it hasn't worked out yet.
She's not wrong. Real talk. She's on board on the Pepes, which is great. She also made a Pepe. My wife made one of the fake rares, and I'll release.
All right. So what do we got
later
on the screen here? Bieber bought an ape.
I saw people hating on this.
Yeah. So basically, the floor, which is the cheapest price, is a very relevant metric in NFTs. Most of the action is on the floor. Floor for the apes was about 100 ETH. This ape, based on like the rarity and the traits, is considered a floor ape. It looks pretty good, so I could see like maybe a 20 or 30% premium on it. So this might have been 120 or 130 ETH ape, like in a sort of where it would trade in the market. Justin Bieber bought it for 500 ETH, and the cool thing about Ethereum is you can like look to see where the money came from. So if he got 900 ETH, from a project that he was tweeting about or whatever. It's his friend's project. He probably invested in or else got paid to promote. So he basically got this windfall of ETH, and he really liked this ape, and so he bought it. So like people are like, oh, you overpaid, and it's like, did he overpay? Like it's Justin Bieber, right? He's got essentially infinite money. The other thing is the apes do come with commercial rights. So if he has some plan, like he's going to put it in a music video or something, right? He can recoup that value anyway. Most of the celebrity ape buys have been marketing, where MoonPay is buying the ape for the celebrity at a free or discounted price. This one, I believe, is actually a genuine. He just paid 500 ETH. So I think it's pretty cool. People are like, "Oh, you paid too much." Okay, does it matter, right?
Brett, I saw a tweet where a guy's like, "This is disgusting" or something. Like, he overpaid. It's just, I don't care if someone like buys what they want, but they shouldn't overpay by this amount. Like,
he has infinite money, and somebody dropped him 900 ETH in his wallet, and he fired it off. Like, big deal.
I don't see why there was, but it like I saw a few tweets that came from some strange place of purity where they're like, my ape that's worth like 250,000 is somehow good and right, and this ape that should have been worth 250,000 that somebody sold for over like $1 million and change or 2 million or whatever is bad and wrong.
He paid like $1 million extra about.
So this guy like that gets $1.3 million for it is bad and wrong, but mine for 300K. It's all insane. Like it's all fucking batshit crazy. We're gonna have on that girl that made that funny TikTok about I don't give a fuck. How do you still gotta get started in NFT this? And like it's just like it's going crazy. These apes, anybody that has one, it's a flex of like, here's my 10 Rolexes, that I have in my Twitter hexagon profile to prove that I really have the $300,000 ape. It's
I used to ice my wrist, now I ice my profile pic like that.
And I mean, like, I may or may not have like a $250,000 JPEG as my profile pic as well. But that came from a place of purity. That is a whole different show.
This is as pure as it gets, man. Bieber liked the ape and he bought it.
I agree. I don't think there's anything wrong. If you're already going to take the leap and just like be like, okay, we live in a world where people buy and sell like $250,000 pictures of an ape to celebrities. And so, I mean, like if you're going to like be, okay, all right, we live in a world of NFTs. If you can accept that, then like you should have absolutely no fucking problem with Bieber buying this for 500 ETH.
What's that, one show for him? It's a day? A big deal.
It says net worth like $250 million or so.
That's somewhere like, I mean, it's something where this is irrelevant.
The tabloid guesses, but that's still like, calculating deals. And yeah, it's probably close enough, or, it's in the right. He's not worth.
I think
like
a better way to look at it is like, what does he get paid a show? Probably that. So it's like, okay, it's one show.
Sure, $250 a show, and they still think I'm selling crack. Meek Mill was looking to get in the game. He was on Twitter yesterday.
Yeah,
Meek Mill was trying to drop.
He's making more than Meek Mill. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's going to lead us with a seamless transition into our segment where we put the safety glasses on for the Market Mania pick of the day.
Drop it like it's hot. Everybody stack. I'm stacking to the top.
Got my safety glasses on, Mike. On my pick of the day is NVIDIA, not NVIDIA like the stock you guys know, the technology stock, the biotech stock, NVTA. I think it's where is it now? Let's see. It's like $11.50. 11.39. This stock, $11.39, was about $30 about 6 months ago, and when it was over $30, Kathy Wood claimed it was her highest conviction biotech stock of any biotech stock she can get her hands on. It's one of those human genome stocks. NVTA, $11.39. So that's my pick of the day. And also, let's hope Google has good earnings tonight. We got that coming tonight.
I just want to add to Matt's pick. Vitalik was on Up Only podcast last week. Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, they asked him if you could put your money anywhere other than crypto, where would it be? He said genome? Biotech stocks. So,
human genome, probably, yeah.
I kind of skimmed through it, but he did say biotech stocks. I like to gamble, man. I think I'm gonna hop on here with you.
Yeah, I'm going to click in an order now just to ride. What are we talking about? Everyone's going to ask you, when do I sell, Glenn?
It's the biotech of NVIDIA.
Matt never tells you when to sell.
I don't know when to sell. Well, Kathy Woods loves it at $30, so it's only $11. So we'll see if it goes back to $30. and we could decide then.
If you loved it at 30,
You
you
gotta
love
love it
it at
here.
11:34 right now. I'm going to click in a couple myself. Can't miss a good gamble. Brett Ritchie.
Yeah, I'm rolling back into the NFT world. It's very frothy right now. One of my favorite strategies is to look for like sort of older, undiscovered kind of gems that have the potential. These are very liquid. It's very risky. You have to be prepared to sit on this thing for a long time. This isn't like you're going to flip. But there's only 1,500 of these birds, the NFT birds. The floor is 0.085 ETH, which is like a couple hundred. These are meme worthy. I believe it might be the first open source NFT project. Over 100 other projects have spawned out of this source code. They're pre-Bored Ape Yacht Club, which I think is going to matter at some point.
What's the floor there, Brett, on these birds?
0.085. There's only 1,500 of them. I got a lot of these birds. I'm still buying them at times as well. It's a long-term hold. Like the founder is just one guy. He's got a job, or it's not one of these teams that's going to just like pump out announcement after announcement. It's the clean OG bird that I think like in 2022, which we're in, through 2025, like long-term horizon. They're not making any more 2021 NFTs, right? And so
can I ask you a quick question about these birds there, Brett?
Yes, sir.
You know how if you own Bitcoin and you lose your keys, whatever, you lose Bitcoin forever, it's gone. What if you own an NFT and you lose your keys for NFT? Is that gone forever?
Yeah, you're fucked.
Gone.
So you could buy your bird, but you could lose your bird.
Same as anything in crypto, basically. Which
that's sad. That's
a little
sad.
Intimidating for the average person. There's hacks There's Bored Apes, by the way. The several $100,000 items. They get hacked every day. One guy got hacked for $1.5 million yesterday. I woke up today. Another guy got hacked for like $500K in the Bored Apes.
But if you get hacked, somebody else has your bird. But if you lose your keys, if you just lose your keys, nobody can ever get that bird. That bird's gone forever.
Yeah. So some of the supply, will theoretically diminish over time.
There's a wallet with like 100 crypto punks that would be worth like $46 million or some such nonsense that just hasn't been.
It's never touched them. It's probably lost, but you never know.
Just probably
there'll be Bitcoin wallets from 2014
that
that make their first move.
Yeah.
What's your pick of the day there, Mike?
Well, Brett, just can you fill up a couple birds in the fund account or something? Just because you've sold me, and I'm sorry, dear.
Yeah,
sorry, honey.
You got it. I'll fire them some birds.
I like the birds. He makes a good case. I like the birds.
Long-term play.
My pick of the day, I'm going with Solana.
Ooh.
Right in between the two of you. Not quite an actual stock, an actual company, and not quite a picture of something, but an actual cryptocurrency, Solana. And they turned it off the last couple about a week ago, and you could see it craters when they just straight turned that shit off. That shit just didn't work for a little while. And then they just, turn it back on. I don't know. I think they Control-Alt-Delete it or something. And then they, blow on the cartridge and reboot it. And then now it works again. And Sam Bankman-Fried has $22 billion and he backs this chain. So basically it's just going to crush. It's some EVM chain similar to ETH. I don't know how the coding works. I know they got the Quantum wallet. Now you can collect I got a POG for free. In the Quantum wallet. So they got NFTs and then they got DeFi and then Solana. That is essentially the bullish case, is that Sam Bankman-Fried, a guy way smarter, way richer than me, backs it. There's your case right there. And that does it for another fun-filled day of Market Mania. We are back, but for how long? I know I don't have too many more in me. So we're going to leave you with one from my man and RIP, Young Dolph, who from One Scale really actually discovered the rapper. I guess I'm late to the game on the day he died, and it was good shit. It goes something like this: all I need is one scale, a couple bales, came in this shit by myself. Dolph, why you fuck his girl? Shit, because I'm a player. Like and subscribe to Market Mania. If enough of you do so, it just might motivate us to keep on trucking. We will see ya the next time we do it. If there is a next time we do it. But for now, it is lights out.
I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. I never sleep if I don't have. I never sleep. Come on, I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. Time to right the wrong. So your hands in the air if you like the song. If you're going over there, take it twice as long. Last time ain't talking about Tylenol. Oh, I bet you'd like to know. You can come around the way if you're trying to go. If you want to switch lanes for a pot of gold or a domino, out of control. The usual. Get mad cause I'm looking at your girl. Switch it up. I do it so much louder than everything you've heard. Everybody heard at the word that the world wasn't turning. Act like you're in a jury. However turning, we're how we're turning. Can't lie like it's Mississippi burning. Don't act like you're in a daze. I imagine it look the other way. Couldn't clear space on my mind. Was afraid of the time. Strobe light like in the moonlight. I'm in the mood right now. How about tonight? My interview's tight now.